we kind of already have our star with us. She is more on time than the audience. Let's just start by saying that these 21 days that we have been doing the. I'll unmute you, Lekha, in a moment, right? So all these 21. I just wait. I can let you unmute you. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Cool. So everyone, welcome.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, 110%. 110%. So guys,
okay, fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for turning up. I think a lot more people will turn up as the session goes by, because they have this thing of coming out at 9, 5, 9, 10, and that kind of time, because they know for the first 10 minutes of the session there is this guy named Abadur who is going to say those things. So we really don't want to listen to the host. We want to probably listen to the star. So thank you guys for donating and being here with us tonight. We'll have a crazy session tonight. We'll have some great insights in terms of just launching yourself in that big career of Bollywood. As we know, tomorrow we'll have director Mukesh Chabra, and today we have a big star with us. A big star in the making, definitely, and the kind of performance she's put out in the Big Bull with her character Tara has been really amazing. Guys, thank you so much for donating. This is the 21st day. We have Lekha Prajapati with us today. She is a model and a star, nonetheless. Just shining really bright. If you look at her Instagram, you'll get to know that she was in the NCC, and she admits that had she not been an actor, she would have definitely been in the army. And Neha, Lekha, I'm damn sure, because I'm damn sure that you would have been in the army, Lekha, because you have got that, by the looks of it, it feels that you've got that real intent. Because in the performances that we saw, we have been seeing, you have featured in a lot of Telugu movies as well, as far as I know, as far as my knowledge goes. Lekha, thank you so much for being here with us and doing this. Lekha is going to give us, real insights on understanding the artist within you. How did she end up, pursuing a career in acting, and because that is what it is about. It's just not about a Bollywood star. It's about how did she end up pursuing a career like this, and how did she take that. That is what we want to know. What did you feel within that, the drive that you had and the vision that you had, and the understanding of the industry, and how has it been so far? So Lekha, we'll begin with you, and anybody can ask questions in the chat. I think I will direct all the questions to myself, and I will point the questions out to you.
Sure. Firstly, I would like to thank you. Such an amazing introduction, and I'm not a star. Let's begin with this. I've got a lot of work to do, I guess. And I've just started my career, and I'm just trying to make my family and my friends and my own self proud by doing some amount of work, but otherwise it has been a great journey. I would like to say that, and it has been great. I guess I never wanted to get into acting. I believe there are so many actors who say that, okay, I really wanted to become an actor, and I was very clear when I was probably 3 or 4 years old. I think for me that wasn't the case. With me that wasn't the case. I believe that I was a normal, regular, kid as a child, but I guess I used to participate in a lot of co-curricular activities. I was the vice captain of my house, and I was the captain of my Coco team. I was into NCC, so somewhere, and I was decent. I was a decent student. So somewhere or the other, I always had that thing in me that sirf padhai nahi karni. There are a lot of other things that I want to do. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So it was a very gradual decision, and it wasn't something which was very well thought. No, it wasn't. It was a very I mean, it was like it just happened. So I'll tell you how it happened. So during my school days, I was into NCC, and I always wanted to get into the defense services. In fact, I was the senior under officer of my cadet and my squadron. And I think that's how I thought that let me get into defense, and probably I would have joined probably the army, or probably the Indian Air Force. And in order to join the defense services in India, you need to write an examination called SSB, which is called Service Selection Board. And then no, you need to write an examination called CDSC, which is called Common Defense Service Examination. And if in case you happen to clear that examination, you need to go for an interview, which is called SSB, which is called Service Selection Board. I guess I went there twice. Once I was screen out, and the other time I was conference out. And I was like, dude, why is it not working? I mean, I'm doing everything. I've studied so well, and I'm doing everything. I'm taking my classes, and I am physically fit. I'm mentally fit. I look decent. So why it's not happening? I just couldn't figure it out. And meanwhile, I saw an article in a newspaper saying that there's this small contest happening, which is called Miss Rajasthan and Mr. Rajasthan. And if you feel you have it in you, why don't you participate? And I'm like, acha, basically I'm free. SSB bloody is not happening. What should I do? I'm like, okay, let me try. Just try. And I had no. So my dad's a journalist and my mom is a homemaker, and so we had no such filmy background or background which was inclined towards fashion or modeling. So yeah, I think I participated in that, and I did not win, but then I got, I guess, best hair and best smile award. I have to tell you, when I was walking on the ramp, and when all the lights are on you, when all the lights were on me, and I was walking on the ramp, and in front of me I could see all the entire media, press, and they're clicking pictures. I'm like, this is what I want to do. This is something where I feel very confident. This is something where I'm feeling very easy, very confident, and I'm feeling as if I'm home. And I guess that's how that I think that article was probably a career changing thing. And that's how I got into modeling. And gradually, I guess Vasundhara is joined. So and I guess then gradually acting happened, and that's how I got into acting. Yeah.
Okay. So it's been a wild ride. I mean, not specifically wanting to get into acting, but ended up kind of being a part of So how did initially, when you were kind of starting out, you wanted that attention, but how did you kind of get into that? We all have that question. How did you end up with in the star cast of Big Bull? So how we all have that question. So how was the Big Bull thing with, how was the experience at Big Bull?
I would just tell all the people that these days, unlike like in 60s or 70s or probably in 80s, even in like 90s, early 90s, there was no concept of casting director. But then now we do have a very systematic way of casting, and if you want to meet the director or if you want to meet the producer, there's a proper system you need to go through, and there's a proper sort of hierarchy and chain of communication. So I got a call from a casting director, and I tested for it, and that's how I ended up playing Tara in Big Bull.
Yeah, so that would have been a crazy journey. So also a lot of movies that you were gonna come up, because I'm damn sure you're just being humble by saying that you are not a star, but I have seen Big Bull, because I was not able to see Harshad Mehta's Camp. Everybody was like, if you haven't seen, I think you should go see that movie. And I know a lot of people who have actually seen both the one that's available and the one that came out with the Big Bull. So tell me, how do you kind of manage with the stresses with being an artist, because it's not easy. When you are in the limelight, you always you become a public figure sort of a thing, which obviously you are now in the beginnings or in the midst of, because you have done Telugu movies, you already know you have a following in that particular region. Now you're moving over to more of mainstream cinema in terms of being Hindi cinema, or so how do you kind of see the transition? How did how was it different in the Telugu scenario, and how is it different in the segment that you're moving now? So we'll talk about the movies that you are gonna look at, or you're gonna sign up. You have signed up for, But
Yeah.
what do you reckon? How did how did the transition happen? Was it natural, or did it take some time for you?
So see, I'll tell you something. Whether it's the South film industry, or whether it's a Hindi film industry, or probably a Punjabi film industry, or Malayalam film industry, or probably if I'm working in Hollywood, actor is an actor. You won't you might be tomorrow interviewing the prime minister of a country, but that's how you're going to be. I mean, that's how you're going to ask your questions, and your basic thing won't change. When you're asking questions. So same goes for me. I believe that as an artist, nothing changes for you. Language, I think, is no more a barrier, I would say. And South film industry has been amazing, and they have just welcomed me with open arms. And even though I'm not very good with, I mean, I'm a North Indian. I can't speak very fluently in Telugu or in Tamil or in Malayalam, but they've been so welcoming, and they treat me like their daughter and their sister. And I can feel so much of love, and there's so much admiration and praise coming from that industry, and it's just overwhelming. And so basically, like the question that you asked, what changes for me? I don't think anything changes for me. The only thing that is a little difficult there is I can't improvise, because I'm not very good with the language. So here when I'm talking in Hindi, I can improvise. अगर मुझे if मुझे 4 लाइनें दी गई है, और अगर मुझे I have to add something, I can, because I'm very good with speaking in Hindi. But when it comes to Telugu, I can't really improvise, because I have to, and if I want to, I have to do a little bit of rehearsal before improvising on set. So there's a little more hard work there, I would say. But still, again, I would just say that, language is not a barrier. And I think with, platforms like Netflix and Amazon coming in, today we are watching international content, and our content is being watched worldwide. So I don't think so language is going to be a barrier anymore. I mean, with Bahubali, look at Bahubali. Like, Bahubali broke all the barriers. It's one of the most highest grossing films in the industry, and it was specifically for the Telugu industry. But people loved it here, and people love it overseas, and yeah, that's how it works, I guess.
So I think we have a question which says, because all the questions are directed towards me, so I have a question which says, feature films or web shows, what is your preference in the current situation? So web shows or feature films, what is your preference in the current situation?
I would love to do both. See, I would love to do both. But right now, I think I would go with a web show. Yeah.
So we have a question from Mars. He says, I've been following you, and I see how versatile you are. You dance, you act. Recently, I even saw you boxing. Crazy. Would love to know, who is your inspiration? What really keeps you going? Who is your inspiration?
Who has asked this question?
I think Mars has asked this question. Mars from Mars has asked this question.
Okay, firstly, thank you so much for following me and following my boxing videos. See, I just feel, I don't know who inspires me, but then I just feel, and I mean, I might sound a little crazy, but I think, self-motivation and self-inspiration is the best thing. I mean, I know a lot of people, who tend to go to YouTube and, search for motivational videos, and, they'll watch all these motivational speakers, and, they'll watch Steve Jobs and, XYZ. from the entire world, and then they'll feel ki, acha, ye video dekh ke I'll get motivated. But I just feel at the end of the day, Steve Jobs is not going to go do the work for you. It's you who's going to do it at the end of the day. You might feel extremely motivated, but at the end of the day, you have to do it. So I just feel self-motivation is the best thing. And I think I self-motivate my own self. And whenever I feel low, I just talk to myself and I tell myself that, so I've got certain plans that, okay, this is what I want to do, today, or, this is what I want to accomplish in a week's time, or in a month's time, or probably 6 months or a year. So I just, look at the goal chart and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Come on, get back to work. I think I self-motivate my own self.
Okay, so you are a fitness freak, so that's one thing. Are you a fitness freak?
I have to. I don't like to work out. If my boxing teacher's watching me, he would hate me, but I don't like to box. But I have to. You have to look nice on screen. What do you do? How do you keep yourself fit? You either indulge yourself, into cycling, or swimming, or running, or boxing. Any sort of physical activity is actually very much needed.
Okay. Cool. So just take us a little back in terms of your NCC thing. So since your mindset was always, in the, kind of being in the army, and you said, then you see all the attention, and you said, this is where I want to be. And that kind of, brings in, so how did the transition happen? Was it quick? Do you still feel that, looking back, do you still feel that, maybe I should have done that and not this, or are you totally fine with what you're doing now? Do you kind of ever comprehend the fact that maybe I could have been in the army and not been an artist?
I'll tell you something. I just believe a lot in destiny, and I just feel everything happens for a reason. I was very, very disheartened when I didn't clear my SSB. I told you I went twice. Once I was screened out, and the other time I was conference out, and I was very disheartened. I was like, I've got everything in me to become an officer and serve the nation and be in the armed forces. But what's wrong? Where am I lacking? Aisa kya karna chahiye ki mera selection ho jaye? I was extremely disheartened, and I think sometimes best things comes to you. Best, sometimes you're very low, and you're feeling as if, oh God, nothing is working out, and probably an opportunity, or a person, or an idea, or a thought might just enter your life, and your life might just take a 360 turn, I would say. So I think that's what happened. I was feeling very low, and that's when I saw that article, and everything just changed for me. And so I just feel everything happens for a reason. And yes, I was very disheartened. And but if you ask me that, Lekha, would you go in your past and try to change something? I would say no. I think every experience, every situation, every person, whom I've met through time and, till today has taught me something. And, every situation has taught me something. And it is sometimes okay to feel sad. And, it's sometimes okay to have that sort of failure in your life. Aapki life mein hamesha you won't have that high, and you won't feel that up always. It's okay, completely okay to feel disheartened, that your heart is broken and, you're not doing well in your career. It's okay. It's completely okay. And I just feel that let that emotion be there. I feel that, let you yourself should let yourself feel it, and then get over it. You might even cry for 3-4 days. Like when we have a breakup, we do cry for months and months. So it's okay. It's okay. Do it. We are human beings at the end of the day. Emotion is extremely important. And, we all are made up of emotions. So it's okay. You feel it, but then just don't stick to it. And, just don't waste so much time that when you look back, you just regret. So, I just feel this is how it should be. This is how I work and I operate, I would say. Yeah.
It just connects with, I think Denzel Washington once said, "You rise up when you hit rock bottom," and it kind of, when we hit rock bottom, is there is only one place to go, and that's up. I think Meetu has wants to ask you a direct question. I'll just mute her.
Hi, Meetu.
Hello.
Hi, Meetu. Can I see you? Oh, I can't see you. Yeah, Meetu.
Hi, how are you, Lekha?
Absolutely fine. How about you?
Good. So I just wanted to, I was interested in knowing how do you motivate yourself? Like, you were just saying right now that I keep motivating myself. So during these difficult times, people are getting depressed at home, they are not able to do anything as such, which is keeping them busy. So for the people who are working are quite, keeping themselves occupied with the work. But other than those, who doesn't have like really work at home or something like that, so how can they motivate themselves? That's my question.
I just feel that it's very, very important to have a routine. It's extremely important. I know it's sometimes difficult to stick to it. I sometimes don't follow a routine. There are days when on a Monday I don't feel like working. There are days when on Saturday, on a weekend, when all my friends are out, not right now, like generally also I'm saying, when the world was all okay, I don't feel like stepping out. So it's okay, it's okay when you don't want to. I mean, it's sometimes okay, but I mean, I would just say that 80 to 90% of the time you should try to stick to a routine, because it's all year. At the end of the day, it's all year. If it's here, you can do it, and that's it. It's period. I mean, this is the only mantra. I mean, so many people ask me that, what's the mantra of success, this and that. I'm like, if you can see it here, if you can think it, if you say I can't do it, then you will never be able to do it. If you say I can do it, I have done it, I see people doing it around me, and I can also do it. I trust me, girl, you will be able to do it. So I think it all starts from here. And to answer your question, that when you have got relatively lot of time in your hand, what do you do? If you're like, even if you're working from home, 1-2 घंटे का काम के बाद, what do you do the entire day? I think to have a sort of routine is very, very important right now. And secondly, I think there are just two things extremely important right now, which you should pay a lot of attention to. One is your physical health. Like your health is extremely important right now. I mean, I would suggest all the girls and all the people who want to become actors and who are models, don't starve yourself right now. Right now, it's very important to eat healthy. Acha khana khao, have a little bit of ghee, have a little bit of butter. You might put on 1 or 2 kgs, it's okay, but at least you would be very, very healthy, and you won't be prone to diseases. Secondly, your mental health is extremely important. You must have seen people who are extremely healthy, who have an amazing lifestyle, but they are not very fit, like when it comes to mental strength and keeping yourself mentally fit. They're not that great. So I think meditation definitely helps. Right now, you should try to firstly check on your people, people who are around you, your colleagues. If you're staying with your parents, well and good. If you don't stay with your family, and if you're all alone, just call them once, just ask them what are they doing. Try to video call them, try to ask what's their routine, what are they doing the entire day. It really, really helps. There's this sort of sense of homeliness, I would say, or probably sense of being connected with your friends, and you won't feel alone. आपको नहीं लगेगा कि अरे इस पैंडेमिक में मैं अकेली हूँ या मैं अकेला हूँ. नहीं, it's not only you. In fact, having said everything, we have a very, very privileged life, I would say. We have shelter, we have food, we have running water, we have amazing internet connectivity. I think we are leading a very, very privileged life right now. So I think thanking the universe, thanking God for what you have. Secondly, staying connected. Thirdly, I would say just probably meditating and being in touch with your friends. And fourthly, doing some sort of physical activity. Probably it could be just a walk, like inside your house or on the terrace or in your balcony, and in Mumbai, we don't have bungalows like how we have in North India. You can just use your staircases, just don't use lift if you're going to pick up something from the ground, ground level. Just use staircases, just use your stairs. And I think, these are the small things which you can do, which would actually keep you grounded, keep you mentally fit, physically fit, and you'll be happy.
Thank you so much. That's very helpful of you.
And Lekha, you mentioned about meditation. I just wanted to know, how do you meditate? Like, is there any specific music you listen to, or some breathing technique you practice, or how do you do it?
So what do I generally do? I mean, I don't know about other people, but I'm going to tell what I do. I generally go to YouTube and, just type if sometimes, you're not feeling very well and, you're feeling angry. And if you ask yourself, what's the reason? You don't know the reason, because you haven't been in a fight. You're not in a fight. You're not even fighting yourself, but, you're just like not that great and that well. I think, I just go to YouTube and I just type, anger management music, or probably healing music. And, there are chakras in our body. Right? A human body has got chakras. So, just listening, see, music really helps a lot. And meditation has, I believe meditation is everything. It's all about your breath and the music, the sound, what you're hearing. Probably it might be a truck, probably it might be a scooter, or probably it might be, the kind of music that you have put on your phone. So this is what I generally do. I like to meditate, and there's this 10-day session by Sadhguru. It's available online. So every day it's connecting with yourself. The name of the whole program is Connecting with Yourself by Sadhguru, and it has 10 episodes, and every episode is, say, 35 to 40 minutes, and it's very nice. It's very relaxing. So I think I do that. And there are days, Vasundhara, to be very frank, there are days where I don't feel like meditating. So I don't meditate. I don't force myself ki nahi meditation karna hai. No. If I don't feel like I won't meditate, probably I'll just go for a run, or, probably I'll just walk. But sometimes when you feel like meditating, which I told you that, you need to add it to your daily routine. So 95% time I try to do it, but 5% time when you're not feeling it and you're like, aaj nahi karna hai mujhe. So just don't force it, because meditation is something which can never be forced.
I think that sums up. Meditation is something that can never be forced. So
sorry?
Meditation is something that can never be forced.
Yeah.
True. I think Vasundhara was having some internet issues. But, I have one very important question.
Vasundhara, did you hear me? I gave you an entire gyan, yaar. Did you hear me? Did you happen to hear me?
I could hear you in the Sadhguru part, and then bits and pieces here and there. I was trying to connect the sentences.
And we could see a frozen Vasundhara on screen. So that's how I figured out that Vasundhara had internet connection issues.
Oh, God.
Lekha, I want to ask you a very, question. Because you are more of an outsider to the industry and not, from the industry. So, because there is this huge debate on nepotism that follows. In fact, when we had Daisy Shah with us, we also pointed this question out to her. What do you think about nepotism? Because she, kind of put a very compact answer to it. As an outsider, have you felt that, this place does not accept me? Let's not say Bollywood. Let's say, acting as a skill. Whether acting accepts you or not. Let's, when we, talk about nepotism, we just jump the guns and move to Bollywood. So now I just want to know, as an outsider, which does not come from, a drama school or somebody who's not learned the methods of acting. I don't know whether we had Arjun Kanungo, and that he was a trained method actor. And he did that course way back in 2016, but he didn't, pursue a career there. So as an outsider, in terms of, the acting scene, do you think that causes any problem, or, that does not help, or it is just, just people are just making that up and that's not the main problem?
No, I wouldn't say that nepotism does not exist. It does exist, but then see, look at a bigger picture. I'm somebody who looks at a bigger picture rather than just a smaller picture. I just feel that tomorrow, if my dad was a producer or was a filmmaker, obviously he would promote me. Obviously, I would tell him that, come on, dude, Papa, produce something for me. I mean, why should I go through this process of audition, and why should I, go somewhere else? If we have an amazing production house, why don't you produce me, or why don't you, launch me, sort of? So I don't think, see, my dad's a journalist, and tomorrow if I want to get into journalism, like professionally, obviously he's going to, call all these big media houses, and he's going to tell them that, oh, Lekha is coming for an interview. She's my daughter, and, just consider. So I don't think there's anything bad. I mean, it's a very basic human nature. I mean, this is how it works, right? Like, let's get this straight. This is how it works. Tomorrow, if my younger brother, tells me that I want to get into acting, obviously I'll try my level best. I'll use all my contacts and try to get him a job. But this is how it works. So it's completely fine. Having said that, obviously there is nepotism, I won't say, but then now what can I do about it is I can just work on my craft, and I can be like be very, very well prepared. I think that's the key. I think talent is something which can never be hidden. Platform might not matter. I might be working in the South film industry. I might be doing television. I might be doing Hindi film industry. I might be doing some Hollywood project or some indie project. If I'm good at it, people are going to notice me. And secondly, with OTT coming in, where stars, like, there's no pressure of casting a star, that oh my god, we have to cast a star, because people are very accepting, and they are welcoming you with open hands. And like let's take Pratik Gandhi for example. I mean, he comes from a non-filmy background. He used to do theater. He has done what we call ki hero ka dost ka character kabhi nahi play karna. He'll get typecast and stuff like that. I mean, an actor is an actor, and I just feel that he did his job, and look where he's today. And he was and the basic thing is, he was so good at it. He was like, he really knew what acting is. He really knew what he had to do to get that thing right and get that thing correct. So I just feel it does exist, but I'll tell you, as a society also, not our financial conditions are like, there are poor, there are middle class, there are rich people. We can't compete saying that, oh my god, tum itna rich kaise ho, and tum humko paise do. We can't do that. I mean, it won't work. Probably their parents must have worked extremely hard. 20 years down the line, the parents must have worked extremely hard, and that's the reason today they are where they are. So I would just say that being prepared, firstly. Secondly, I don't think so. You should pay a lot of heed to it, because this is my mantra, that you should always focus on things which is under your hand. Now, nepotism is not under my hand. I mean, if tomorrow a very big producer is trying to launch his daughter, I can't do anything. I can't go and fight na ki are aap mujhe launch karo. I can't do that, and I can't even ask my dad ki you leave your journalism and become a producer and make a film for me. This is not how it works. But I have to tell you, when you keep working, your work speaks for yourself, and your work will get you more work. How it is, like the kind of work you're doing, and this is the basic thing. Your work will get you more work. So I just feel, keep working on your craft, and be well prepared. Be a little aware, like who's casting, and what projects are going on right now. Just be a little aware. Just keep your eyes and ears open. Nobody's going to do it for you. You have to do it on your own. And secondly, when you don't come from the filmy industry, there are a lot of things you need to be careful of. You need to know what's going on in the market, and nobody's there to basically guide you. So just follow your gut, whatever you feel. If you feel that okay, I think I can do this smaller role, it's okay. It's completely okay. It's not always necessary that you are the lead of the film, or it's you who's going to carry the film forward. Probably after 5-6 years, it might happen and it might not happen. But I would just say, just don't stress yourself a lot. Just keep working and, keep working on your craft. I think that's the basic key. And as I've mentioned earlier, I think you should focus on things which you can control. So nepotism is not something I can control, so I would never pay heed to it. But working on my craft, I can definitely control. So I would like to, work towards that direction.
Really, a detailed answer from you.
Yeah.
Looking back, I was also reading that, Salim Khan didn't want Salman Khan to do Bazigar. And that is how, the movie went to Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
Abbas Hassan went to Shah Rukh Khan, and the star, or the, Shahnshah of Bollywood was born. If an outsider is the Shahnshah of Bollywood, that kind of goes to say, you don't really need to be a star kid to be, the Shahnshah of Bollywood.
And I'm telling you, with OTT coming in, the kind of star thing is no more applicable. Like all the web shows that are doing really well right now, probably a Patal Lok, probably Scam 1992, probably,
there are many.
I would say this one.
There is Sacred Game. There is Mirzapur.
Yeah, so it's an ensemble cast. It's not like there's one superstar, who's like running the entire show. No, it's an ensemble cast. There are good 7 to 8 primary characters, and it's working. And like people are watching it. Like look at Money Heist. I can't say that Professor is the lead or Tokyo is the lead or this professor's girlfriend is the lead. No, it's an ensemble cast and it's working. So I think right now as an actor and also as writers, producers, directors, we have a lot of opportunity, lot of opportunity. And this is the best era to be a person in the entertainment industry and, be a little creative. It's the best time right now.
I think we have a direct question, Vasundhara. We'll take that, and after the direct question, we have a couple of questions in the chat as well. But we'll take we have a direct question from Varun, if I'm not wrong. Varun, you can go ahead.
Yeah, unmute.
Hi, Lekha.
Hi, Varun.
How are you doing?
Absolutely fine. How about you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So my question to you is regarding after the nepotism. I mean, have there been auditions where you thought you would end up with the role and have had to deal with rejections? And how did you deal with them at that given point? And how do you come out of that zone? Because in the film industry, everybody knows there is a lot of competition for everybody to stay fit, look fit, and you have to be like top notch. So how do you stay in the same zone when things don't go your way?
So see, I mean, I won't lie. Initially, it used to affect me. Like initially, when I used to not get a call back, or when I used to not get selected, it used to bother me. But then later, when you know the entire process, it's never that your audition was bad, or you are a bad actor, or you are not good looking enough, or you're not suiting the part. No, it's it's a very collective decision, because a director is somebody who has everything in mind. He has that, okay, this is the character, this is the guy, okay, this is the girl, okay, this is the sister. Are they going to look like brother and sister? Are these two people going to look like as if they might fall in love? So there are a lot of permutations and combinations, I would say. So it's earlier, I think I used to, not only me, I think a lot of people take it very personally that, oh my God, why am I not selected? Or why is it not working? But it has nothing to do with you being an actor. Firstly, you're being called for an audition is a proof that you're a decent actor. That's the reason the casting director wants to audition you. Otherwise, there are 10,000 other actors. If the casting director has decided that, okay, let me audition these 20 people out of those 10,000 people, it's any which way a proof that you're a decent actor, and that's the reason you're getting a call and you might fit in. Now then, there are a lot of permutations and combinations that, and sometimes, dates are not available. Even if when you're selected, you might be working on some other project. Then what? So I think there's like a combination of a lot of things. So you just can't say that मेरा उस audition में हो गया, I got selected because I performed well. Obviously, you must have performed well, but there are a lot of other things also, you know, which like needs to be considered. And I just believe that, you know, when you test for a film or when you test for a TVC or for a web show, it's best to just forget. I know it's very easy to say it and it's extremely hard to do. I know that for a fact, that you would be like, Arey, but I put in a lot of homework in, you know, learning my lines and, you know, having a co-actor next to me and, you know, auditioning. And then what do you want? You just want me to forget? But then I think that's the best way. Because as I've mentioned earlier, that, you know, things which are under your control, you should, like, you know, think about that and work, you know, in that direction. But then things which are not under your control, once you're done with your audition, now it's not under your control, right? What is under your control is you learn your lines properly, you understand your character properly, you know, do your homework, you sit with your friends or you know, with your colleagues or with your seniors and get it right, and then be there at the audition room on time and just perform. That's your job as an actor. Once you're done with it, I don't think you need to really stress that, arey, mujhe call nahi aayega, mujhe call aayega. I think this is something, you know, which is like you'll never be mentally satisfied, because this is a brutal truth, but you probably, you know, end up auditioning for 10 projects and you probably might get a call from 4 or 5 of them, and you might get selected and signed for just 2 of them. So out of 10 projects, you just, you know, probably get just 2 of them. Like, you know, where you signed the contract and okay, you're ready to go on set. But I believe this is how it works. So don't take failures, you know, too seriously. Arey yaar, mera isme nahi hua. And don't feel that, arey, mera isme ho gaya, to, oh my God, what an actor I am. I deserve an Oscar. Don't even go there. Just do your job. I think, you know, that's the best way.
Okay, I have a follow-up question. May I ask, please?
Sure. Yeah.
So you told your work will get you more work. So for a person who's starting out, how does he or she know what kind of work are they looking for, or how to approach people? That is question number 1. And question number 2 is, how has life changed since Big Bull for you?
So I would like to answer the question number 2 first. How has life changed? Lockdown happened, nothing has changed. No. On a very serious
Personally,
note.
on a personal note.
No. On a very serious note, I think, you know, as an actor, as an artist, you just want people to, you know, look at your work. They might like it, they might not like it. It's okay. That is secondary. But initially, you know, you just want to be noticed, right? You just want that people should watch your work at least. Fir unko acha nahi lage, ganda lage, wo baat ki baat hai. So I feel a lot of people, I got a call from, you know, a lot of people from the industry, non-industry people, you know, my old friends, that, oh, we saw you there and, you know, we are really happy, you're doing amazing in your career and, you know, in your space, and, you know, you're looking nice and this and that. So obviously you feel really happy when you put in a lot of hard work, and, you know, there's a lot of you spent a lot of days, you know, thinking about your character and, you know, working towards it, and, you know, sitting with your team and prepping for it. And when you just get that one text, hey Lekha, good work in Big Bull, I think that's your victory, you know, that's your award. I just feel that. So yeah, I think a lot of people now know me. I mean, even in the Hindi film industry, as you know, I'm from the South film industry now. Like, you know, people are getting to know who I am, and, you know, they're appreciating my work. A lot of people have not watched my South industry work because they don't know the language. But now, since Hindi, we have a lot of Hindi speaking audience in India. Yes. You know, I'm getting noticed, and it's an amazing feeling. I'm just getting started. Okay, now to answer your first question, how do you get noticed, right? That's what you asked. If you are absolutely fresh, fresh and you don't know anything about it, I think initially, you know, you should do a little bit of research. Like tomorrow, Mukesh Chhabra sir is going to be there. He's going to tell you so much more. I mean, but, you know, so see, now the entire game has changed. As in, there are casting directors who actually cast, and it's not only that they'll cast for some secondary role. No, they do cast for leads, they do cast for primary characters, and with OTT coming in, it's an ensemble cast, right? OTT mein kabhi bhi koi ek lead nahi hota. It's an ensemble cast. So there's so many characters. So you just need to know that who are the casting directors, whom you should approach. Like, you can just Google, or you can just, read it somewhere. I think you should just Google and, just make a list of top 10 casting directors, or probably top 15 casting directors whom you think are good, and whom you think, you should send your profile to. They all have their casting pages on Instagram. They all have their email IDs, right? You can always mail your profile, like whatever work you have done. And if you've not done anything, you have just probably, you have just like completed your 1-year course diploma, or 1 or 2 year at Actor Prepares, or whatever work as an actor, as a fresher also, whatever work you have done. What are your hobbies? Are you into skating? Are you into dancing? What are languages can you speak? Because extra languages is a sort of skill for an actor.
Yeah,
so just
value added.
Yeah, so just put all of that in your profile and just send it. I think this is how I started. I used to email every casting director, and gradually I started getting callbacks that, okay, this is a character, we want you to audition for. Okay, this is a film, and we want you to test for this. And even if you're not selected for it, it is okay. If you are selected, well and good, nothing like that. But even if you're not selected, it's okay. If your audition is good, or if your test, the test that you have done is good, even if you're not selected, the director, the casting director, and the director will always have you in mind. Always remember this. They will always have you in mind, and they are going to call you for another project, because it is not like उन्होंने एक ही project किया है पूरी दुनिया, I mean, पूरे साल भर में. There are thousands of projects, and there's so many opportunities right now. There's so many youngsters, who ask me, like yesterday a 14-year-old boy asked me, what do? I don't know. I'm just 14 years old. I'm like, dude, you've got YouTube. What are you saying? I mean, look at Bhuvam and look at Lily Singh. You are born in the era of social media. You can be a social media star also. It's not necessary that, you need to be a star in Hindi film industry or Telugu film industry. You can be a social media star too. It's all about how do you connect with your audience. That's it. That's the game, right? So, I mean, right now, if, nobody can like come up with an excuse, oh, I don't have money. Oh, I don't have training. Oh, I don't have contacts. Oh, there is nepotism. I mean, I don't think now, these things exist or these things work. They don't. Because look at Bhuvam, what did he do? He used to record the videos with a small, very inexpensive phone. And today he has his own production house. He's, producing web shows. Like Ayushmann Khurrana, he started as a contestant in Roadie.
Roadies, yes.
And then he
Such
went,
an inspiration.
he went on to becoming RJ, then he got into VJing, and then he got into acting.
Yes.
And today he's a national award winner, if I'm not wrong. So, so I think, I think excuses won't work now. I mean, I would just say that. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the detailed answer.
Yeah.
We have another direct question. We can take that up.
Sure.
Hi, Latika.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, Divya. Hi. Yeah, Divya.
How are you?
Absolutely fine. How about you?
I'm good. Apart from your industry work and all, this is a personal level question that, all of us, let's say through this pandemic also, are dealing with personal ups and downs. So you as an actor, how do you motivate yourself every day, as in to stay positive or stay up to the mark?
Yeah. To be very frank, I won't lie. I don't sometimes, feel like doing anything, and I don't do anything. I'm just lying on my bed, and my team is calling, "What's wrong with you, Lekha? What's wrong with you? Come on, let's get back." I'm like, I don't feel like doing it. But then, at the end of the day, I think I've already mentioned this, that, you need to sometimes, self-motivate yourself. And sometimes it's also nice to just stay and, just be there and just see the kind of work you have done so far. Like, where did you start actually as a teenager? Then, when you were growing up, what all things you have done in your college. Now we take all our co-curricular activities like very lightly. Ki, I used to be a swimmer. I used to be a runner. Yes, I used to do boxing. Or, yes, I used to participate in dancing. But no, those are your achievements. Those all experiences have made you and who you are today, and what sort of person you are. So I think it's also very necessary to sometimes just celebrate your own successes. I don't know, other people might not celebrate it. You celebrate on your own self, because it's very necessary to sometimes just I'm not getting the correct word, but sometimes just have a sort of your own party, like for your own self, the kind of hard work that you have done, and whatever experiences you have been through. You must have been through heartbreak. You must have been through, as a teenager, when you were a rebel, your parents might have scolded you. Your teachers might have looked down upon you at one point of time, and look at you now, right? So I just feel it's okay to celebrate your own small successes. And I always say that, I always say this, that we are always chasing for that big thing, that, oh my God, this will change my career. Oh my God, this will change everything. But during the journey, we just forget those small instances where you have actually done very well, and you should have been awarded. So I would just say that award yourself sometimes. Your friends might tell you, might not tell you that, you're doing an amazing job. Your parents might tell you, might not tell you. Your boyfriend or your girlfriend might tell you, might not tell you that you're doing an amazing job. I'm so proud of yourself, of you. But then you need to look into the mirror and say, I am proud of my own self. I know what I've been through. I know, these are the kind of things I've been through, and still I'm here and I'm happy. And I know I'm going to do extremely, extremely well in my life. I think talking to your own self is very important. And I think that's how I deal with it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you so much for such a crisp answer. It was great. Thank you.
Thank you, Divya. Thank you.
In fact, I think, Lekha, as you mentioned, that on certain days when you don't do anything, like when you don't feel like doing anything, it's very underrated. I feel like it's good to work, it's good to stay motivated, but it is also important to rest as and when. Like, you don't always have to be in that, work mode and competing with others. When that sense of competition gets in you, it kills you. So you realize and give yourself time, which actually builds in a lot of problems in your head and in your body both. So you won't be able to be 100% creative or giving you 100% anyway. So I think that was like something I personally try to incorporate.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, there's this hustle nature. I think, I don't know where has it come from, that hustle, which is very good. You need to hustle. If you want to achieve something, you need to hustle. But sometimes you also need to stop and look back at that. Okay, when I was hustling, okay, these are the small achievements that I've made, and just have a party, like, just you, and that's it. And just like celebrate your small successes. It's very important, because I just feel, these small successes are never firstly mentioned, and second, nobody will say, oh my God, wow, you survived the last year, like, during this COVID. But it's a success. You guys have survived, and if you guys are doing well, that's a success in itself, So it's very important sometimes. Yeah,
I think it's been, the hours just passed away so quickly. I mean, it's just we are almost at the end of the session.
Sure.
So we have a couple of questions on the chat that goes out to you. Number one is how to motivate society that you want to have a career shift, like you have a professional career, professional work career in a corporate field, and you want to follow your passion. So how do you, tell the society or your parents or, or your relatives that you want to do this? How do you kind of, convey this to them? That is one of the questions that I think Simran has put up. How do you motivate or,
But firstly, I would just say that rather than, convincing or, throwing the thought towards the society or towards your family or towards your, friends, firstly ask yourself, are you very sure about it? Firstly, I think I've been saying this throughout my entire interview. It all starts with you. You need to ask yourself, are you ready? Are you prepared? I'm telling you something very, very important. If you feel that I'm ready for it, I feel that this is the right thing to do. Nothing can stop you. No energy, no power in this entire world can stop you. Because if you read, they say, ja raha hai, ja cha hai, wa raha hai. Where there's a will, there's a way. It is absolutely correct. When you actually want something, if you're absolutely self-convinced that this is what I want to do, I don't know how much time it might take, but I really believe in it. I really trust. I think I can do it. And I'll also tell you, with teenagers, what happened that, they, if they think like, they probably want to become a model, right? And if they say, I'm thinking of modeling, they'll be like, come on, look at you, look at your face. You're not even tall, you're not even thin. And, you don't have contacts, you don't stay in Mumbai. Why are you even thinking of, becoming one? So I would just say people might not believe in you initially, but then later, everybody will appreciate your success and will appreciate your hard work. And I think you did ask me a question that how to deal with your corporate job and your passion, a job which is paying you financially and a career which is very self-satisfying. I think you need to have a sort of balance. I will never say that, leave your job and go behind your passion, because dude, money is also important. Mumbai is a pretty expensive city, and that's also important. I mean, I'm not one of those crazy girls or, crazy influencer, crazy actor that, no, don't go behind